Hey guys, it's Davey here, and it's currently day 63. Hopefully, you guys had a wonderful day and doing better than yesterday. And what I want to talk about today is there's just this one minor thing that we can tweak, improve, or just change a bit to actually make us perform better, do better results, and overall, and most importantly, make us stay more focused on doing the task, right? And a lot of the times we may think we underperform or lack of there or become more procrastinated doing the task because we have this inability to stay focused. However, that there is some truth to that, but there's this one thing that we don't look or we overlook sometimes. And really, this alone, if changed or if improved, could dramatically improve our productivity. And that may only be the true reason why we are falling behind in the first place, right? And that is to change or improve or tweak your environment, your work environment, right? So if you haven't already, to be more productive, have a work environment, right? Place yourself in a work environment. Let's just say you don't have enough room, right? Let's just say you have limited space. Then what I suggest you guys to do and what I had done in my beginning career, and I still do to this day, is configure a unique object and place an action behind it, right? So what I mean by a unique object, that could be a furniture, right? For say like a chair, a table, just something different, something that isolates itself from the environment, right? So, say if like you're in a one-bedroom apartment, your mattress on the floor or your bed's next to your kitchen, like a very cramped space. You don't really have a option to have another room for an office or to separate your dining hall from your workplace, right? Then I suggest you guys to have a meaning behind each furniture. For say the kitchen, obviously for cooking, right? The bedroom will be for sleeping, and then you may have a table or a chair, and you can associate a meaning behind the table, and that will be your office, and that will be the place where you do work alone, right? So separate the meaning of it, right? And when you guys do that, keep the meaning behind the object to a minimum, right? Don't associate more than two meanings for that objects. Otherwise, that gives you ambiguity, right? It gives your mind mixed signals. For example, if you have a table and you eat there, you write there, you read there, sometimes you sleep there, sometimes you browse the hub there, sometimes you play video games on that table. So when you do sit on that table, your mind actually has these mixed signals telling yourself, okay, so what am I actually going to do here? Am I going to play games, eat, sleep, read, work? Like, there's too many action, there's too many meaning associated to that object, to that furniture, that you get distracted already just by sitting there, right? So there's a slim chance for you to actually stay focused working. For me, I do a lot of things on my table, and quite honestly, I get a mixed signal a lot of times. And because of that, because I am unsure what I'm actually doing here today, I have to force myself to focus and do the task. So it is so much simpler. And to avoid forcing yourself to stay clear is to actually associate no more than two meanings behind that certain object. So you know the next time you sit on the table or you sit on that chair, you know exactly why you're there and what you're supposed to do. And your mind will honestly click into gear because your mind knows that this place I do this place I do work, right? People may say things will be better, I'll be more productive if only I had an office, if only I had a place to work, right? And let me just say that you probably don't need an office. You just need to tidy up what you have now, right? Your productivity isn't based on not having an office, is you're not really dedicated to do the work itself already, right? So utilize what you have, tidy that place up. And if you can't work in a clean table, if you can't work next to the kitchen table, right, somewhere that has no distractions, then likely when you get an office, you're not going to work productive in there too. It might last for a few days. You might have that urge and motivation to do something in there. But after a few days, if you didn't fix the internal problem, which is the lack of drive to do the work in the first place, then having an office will only be a band-aid solution and not a long-term solution. You'll fall back to your bad habits, you'll fall back to your old habits, and that office will soon turn into a games room or whatever room that is irrelevant to your goals, because in the first place, your goals, your purpose were not clear enough for you to work in the first place. So you probably don't need an office. Don't waste your time to get an office. Just tidy up what you have now and see how you go. If you work well, then use that work money to get you the office, right? But first, always act, then consider other options to improve that. Now, talking about cleaning up, don't overcrowd yourself with papers and rubbish, especially on your work desk, right? You don't need extra documents open. You don't need extra files laying on your table, all these papers scrunched on the floor. You don't need all that, right? Overcrowding is just a reflection of your mental health, right? Having too much mess in front of you not only gets you distracted, it leads to unproductive efforts, but it also leads to anxiety, stress, and frustration, right? So all these negative emotions will inevitably hinder you to work, to perform, right? So if you have a crowded table, if you have mess all over on the floor, take some time today and start cleaning it up. Have one thing in front of you, whether that's your laptop, a notebook, a book, have just one thing in front of you and everything tucked away under your table, right? If you have too many files and you don't have anywhere to store them, when you work, just pick up the files and put it on the table, under the table, sorry, somewhere you just can't see it, so you can actually stay focused on what you need to do, right? That will invariably make you more productive. You'll just honestly kill any frustration, stress, and anxiety because majority of the times when we do have them, it's because we have too many things going on in our life, right? Whether that's mentally or physically, right? And if we do have too many things in our mind, then it definitely doesn't help by crowding our physical atmosphere with so many mess and stuff that is unnecessary, right? So tidy yourself up, don't overcrowd yourself. But that also means if sometimes you are stuck on a task, right? Even if you had your tables all clean, and if that still doesn't work and you get anxious, you get frustrated when you can't move forward or complete this task, then I recommend going for a walk, right? Go for a walk, get some sun, right? Breathe some fresh air, right? When you feel overwhelmed, that's something you have to do, right? You can't just keep pounding your head in your laptop trying to get this thing done, right? Because you're going to overly work yourself. You're going to get frustrated for not overcoming this obstacle. And sometimes for working for long hours at a stretch, sometimes you just need to take a break, go for a walk, and let your mind relax, right? Let your mind relax because your mind is a muscle. Your mind can't handle work all the time. It is something you have to train, right? It's something you'll get better. But when you get frustrated, when you get stuck on a task, go for a walk. But that does not mean, and I totally do not mean that when you get frustrated, you should not use this as an excuse to distract yourself, right? So go for a walk, do something productive, do something that is in line with your identity, but do not go on phones, do not use social media, don't do anything that is contradicting to who you want to be, right? So obviously, when you're reading a book, when you get stuck, don't go play video games, right? It just doesn't make any sense. When you're stuck reading a book, meditate, go for a walk, eat some food, do something that is not going to harm you in the long run, right? And do something that's not going to rob focus away from you. It's only going to add to it. Lastly, guys, you have to know where you want to work and what place you work at is better for you and stay in that environment, right? Do you work better alone? Do you work better around people? Do you work better with others? Do you prefer a specific chair or a table that makes you more comfortable and makes you perform better? Maybe you work better in a workplace. Maybe that's you. Environment, then place yourself there. Go to a library, all right, if you can't be in an office. Because majority of the times, if we work by ourselves on our own pursuit, then we probably won't be in an office setting, right? So go to a library where everyone there is either reading or doing their homework, right? That's an environment where there's people. So if you like to socialize, that's a place to be, right? And not only that, it's quiet, nice and relaxed, and it's tidy. Library, highly recommend that place, right? Either that or go network and join an after hour study group, right? Little room, cramp yourself with some like minded people and study on your own topics. That will not only help you, right, with surrounding yourself with like minded people, but that'll make your learning experience so much better because you're not alone. There's people there to help you because they understand you. So those are really highly recommended things for you to do. And I'm sure if you guys do some research, you'll find some local things around your area that will suit your need and tailor to you specifically. So find a work environment that works for you and do anything and everything that will make you focused and gets you producing more results. But that's all I gotta say for today. Hopefully, you guys learned something from this. But if not, that is totally fine because, like always, I'll be here for you guys tomorrow. So, see you guys then. Bye bye.